My name is Sonja. I am from Princeton, New Jersey area, and I've been coming to Hoboken Grace for about 13 or 14 years now. I grew up in a very legalistic, very strict Christian household, Hispanic. We were with our family all the time. I wasn't allowed to hang out really with my friends very much. Wasn't really allowed to listen to secular music very much. There was no drinking. It was just a very strict home. When I went to college, I went absolutely crazy. I was doing a lot of heavy drugs. I was an alcoholic. I was sleeping around. I was looking to fill the void, and nothing was filling the void. The drinking, the drugs, the men. I should have died a million times. It's by God's grace that I'm sitting here today talking to you, and that I'm alive through His grace and my mom's prayers, I'm convinced, is why I'm sitting here today. So I did that for probably about 20 years. I've had a lot of friends overdose. I've had a lot of friends commit suicide. I've seen a lot of violent things. I found someone who killed themselves, and all of these things just kept breaking me. And there was something missing. Like, I just started realizing that I needed more. I needed something I wanted to take all that pain away, and I just started looking for a church. I just felt really desperate to find something. I needed to get back to my Christian roots. I knew that I needed a change in my life. I couldn't keep living like this because it would kill me. So finally, I got, it's just a blessing that I found Hoboken Grace. And I still had a little bit of fear of coming back to church because the church I grew up in didn't teach a lot about grace. It taught a lot about damnation, and I was afraid of God. The only reason I never stopped believing in God is because I was afraid of Him and afraid of going to hell. But I didn't learn about love, and I didn't learn about grace and forgiveness and acceptance. And so I was afraid to come back to church. So I came to Hoboken Grace and started very slowly dipping my feet in and coming to services, and then joined a dinner group. And I still felt like I wasn't being my authentic self. Like I was lying to the people around me, wasn't saying about my background, where I was coming from, what I'd been through, because I was ashamed, because, you didn't talk about things like that. And then one day I saw a testimony, and it was Rachel's testimony, and Rachel was talking about how we both had a similar background with drugs and drinking, and that just completely blew me away. It completely made me feel accepted, and it made me feel like this is a church for me. This is where I can belong and not be ashamed of myself. Granted, that was 14 years ago, and it took me a little while to get here, but the more I see in this neighborhood, how many people are partying and afraid and ashamed, and I don't want anyone to feel like they're not good enough for God. You can't wait. I used to say, when I'm 30, when I'm 40, when I'm 50, I'll go back to church because I'll be good. You're never going to be good enough. But God's grace is sufficient every single day. It's renewed every morning. His mercy and His love will just change you, and He will just fill you. And I just feel burdened to tell people that don't wait. And don't think you're going to be good enough. You're never going to be good enough. But we don't have to be good enough, because this is not a legalistic church. This is not a legalistic God. This is a God who loves, and a God who saves, and a God who just wants you to be with Him and just loves you unconditionally. You can screw up every single day. I screw up every single day in different ways, but I know His mercy is new every morning, like I said before. And I'm just so thankful for this community of people. I've had a lot going on in my life. I just lost both of my parents, and the outreach from this community of people it's been absolutely amazing. It's been such a blessing. They're so loving and caring and not judgmental, and they're just there for you.